everyone, JPS back for another video, and today we're going to be reacting to what British people think of America. So, how do you guys feel about me? Let me know. But yeah, if you guys are new here, hit the like button, hit subscribe, check out my Patreon, the link is in the description. But yeah, we're going to be figuring out what British people think of America. Now, obviously this doesn't represent all of Great Britain, okay? A few interviews isn't going to represent everyone. However, everything that is said, I will be taking extremely personally. So hopefully they don't say any bad things. This video was made 8 months ago, so just keep that in mind in terms of like, you know, everything that's been going on. But yeah, here we go. Let's see
What comes to your mind when I say America?
Trump, guns, violence.
In terms of America, I know everybody criticises Donald Trump, but he is the elected leader, and if you're a supporter of democracy, well, they've chosen him, and I know he's supporting Israel, so I suppose there's that element of it which isn't very helpful.
When you say America, I think Trump, and I don't like Trump.
I say a country with so much potential, but so corrupt that it's an underwhelming country. Third world country in a Gucci belt, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Anti-vaxxers, I think of people not wanting to wear face masks. Their liberty comes first, their individual right to do whatever they want trumps everything else at the expense of the greater good. It's irresponsible. Yeah, not a fan.
I have quite strong opinions on America.
Wait, hold on. I got a question, guys. So obviously Biden is the president now, but let's say if you were asked that question like 10 months ago, would Trump have actually been the first thing that comes to your mind? I guess he is he was all over the place, and just Twitter. That man got banned from Twitter. But yeah, this is actually really interesting so far.
The greater good.
I was not expecting this at all.
Yeah, not a fan.
I have quite strong opinions on America. Are you surprised? I mean, more recently, given the current administration, my opinion of America is right down there. I have been to America a few times. I've lived there as well. It's a very interesting country in some ways. To me, it's like an adolescent flexing its muscles and trying to pretend it's bigger than it is, interfering in other people's countries, etc., etc.
It's a bit of a cliche, but I suppose it's like every other country. There are good people, there are people who are perhaps not quite so good. I've known many very generous Americans.
Madness, craziness.
Just kidding.
Yes. I go over a couple of times a year. My friends live in Houston. I do love the country, but I wouldn't want to live there. No.
Why not?
No. You go from state to state. Laws are different. Sometimes times are different. No, I wouldn't want to stay there now. I think it's quite a dangerous place to live these days, especially.
Yeah, there is a lot of things.
Whoa. Dangerous place. Okay, I mean, if you go to the south side of Chicago, yeah, but if you're living in a rural area and you're the only house for miles, I don't know how that's dangerous. I don't know. I feel like every place is dangerous. I don't know if I agree with that.
Happening political things. There's two parts of America. Like, I think they're not like a unique country.
I think America has always been the kind of country that online, oh, it's the amazing, this best country ever. But when actually you see the facts, it's like, oh, there are more troubles.
That's very true.
America's freedom, but I
true.
think there's also a lot of discriminations, especially if you're colored. It's quite normal if you came to a foreign country, you would experience these things. But I think America is, you know, they have the worst experience. I think here in the UK it's more calmed down.
I don't want to give any opinion about it. So.
Obviously with them being a bigger country and they take more prominence on the world stage, so I think when we're talking about masks and the ideologies around wearing them, the news is quicker to pick up on dissent, and I think people have been getting quite a harsh rap with regard to adjusting to the lockdown measures in the US or here in the UK, wearing masks being mandated. It takes a time to adjust to those, and I think nobody's being given the leeway to set up the behaviours to adjust to that and then to enact them. So for example, again, my PhD is in behavioural science. I think when people are having to set up a new set of practices, no one's being given the time to allow them to learn how to do that, to wear a mask consistently. When people in Florida are having open town hall meetings and talking about their personal liberties and how mandating masks goes against them, it does a disservice to us as people when we're having to learn a lot in this kind of new world that we exist in. So I think America kind of serves as kind of what not to do sometimes. Especially
Yo, that is like, hold on, let me finish him talking.
It comes from messages from the top down.
I find it rather a bossy.
Okay, I gotta say something. That is like a perspective that I've not heard throughout the entire pandemic. I'm being honest. Like, no one has said that. I've never heard anyone say that, where it's like, no one has given time to adjust. I mean, it just hit us. And there's, especially in America, like the restrictions change. Like we just got the mask mandate brought back, and it changes state by state. There are some governors who have made it illegal for schools to have mask mandates. They're very anti-mask, whereas some schools have already placed mask mandates in other states. So, but I definitely agree with that. There hasn't been, you know, it's hard on people, and a lot of times the media likes to highlight the bad, which, I mean, that's what gets the revenue at the end of the day. But hey, I really did like his perspective, and like he said, he had a PhD in behavioral science, so sounds like he knows what he's talking about, unless he just lied. he doesn't have a PhD. Oh yeah, I have a PhD. No, I think he does. He sounded like a very intellectual guy.
People, when we're having to learn a lot in this kind of new world that we exist in. So I think America kind of serves as kind of what not to do sometimes, especially if it comes from messages from the top down.
I find it rather a bossy place. Maybe that's just New York, I don't know. You know, say, walk, don't walk. You know, stand behind the line.
What?
Why even come to America?
Yeah. They interrogate you at the immigration.
That's right. But on the whole, I just don't think about it. Made their bed, they can lie in it.
What is your opinion of America? What comes to your mind?
Well, I love America because I am half American.
Would you go there quite often?
I try. I mean, recently I've been there two, 3 times a year. I'm just very interested in the history of America. It fascinates me. I mean, I'm not going to talk politically because there is so much going on. I don't live in America, so I mean, we all have our views on certain topics. I do feel they're not treating the whole COVID-19 situation very seriously. I'm sure they are, but they don't appear to be. You know, it comes across that they're not.
It's very easy to become Americanized. That kind of grates on me a little bit. Currently, I think that the whole Black Lives Matter issue, its time has come, and I'm very happy about that. And I wish them all the luck in getting as far as they can in their bid for equality. And of course we need that here as well, but I don't think it's as bad as it is in the US.
Well, interestingly, I was on a study exchange there in Washington, D.C. for the year and had to quickly fly back when everything kind of kicked off. I think that it's important that we remember that the issues that we see in America are reflected here. It's not in a bubble over there. You know, essentially the issues are expressed differently, but I don't think that they are non-existent here. I think it's important that we remember that and that we acknowledge the role that our country's played in that, and that we recognise our faults, and that everybody keeps educating themselves.
America's so
incredibly
diverse.
Girl.
There's lots of benefits to it. I have some really good friends who are Americans, and like, you know, they're not part of that minority, I guess it would be.
I think it's a bit of a mess as well.
Country, but I guess it's our own guy in charge of it. The presidency seems to just be on sound bites and very little detail, and I do think that probably America's standing in the world is diminished because of him. If he is the example or the figurehead of that country, how can it be a great country?
With America, in terms of like lockdown, I'm glad I'm not there, because they have so many of those anti-lockdown protests as well that kicked off before the BLM protests. It's just frightening, and we don't have that to the same scale here, so I feel lucky that I'm not there. I have a lot of family there who are like very concerned about it, as I would be. So yeah, not great, I don't think.
Okay, well, that was actually a lot better than I expected. I thought there was going to be a lot of slander just because, but almost everything that was said had some very valid reasoning behind it, and I can agree with like a lot of what was said throughout that interview. Now, obviously, I have my own convictions and things that blah blah blah. We all do. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, that was actually really good. So yeah, let me know if you guys think like that. I already asked you that question at the start. You guys can answer that. But what do you think of America? Comment down below. I just want, you know, you can take that anywhere you want. It's a very open-ended question. Just let your thoughts flow. I always like a space to let my thoughts flow, and then you guys can check out what other people are saying, have conversations. It's just a cool space, safe space. Regardless of your perspective, I invite you to share it in the comments, okay? I'm never going to delete comments because I don't agree with them or because I don't like it or whatever. Unless you're just saying something straight up hateful and it's like hurtful to people, then that's not it, bro. But yeah, really great interview. I don't know, I took that pretty well. It just, everything made sense. I thought it was just gonna be some weird stuff that wasn't backed up, but some really bright people in those interviews. So yeah, I definitely do agree with that part though. And I think a lot of you guys should take responsibility for this, that a lot of issues in America are not just in America, you know, they're mirrored elsewhere. It's not just, a lot of the issues we have here are not just here. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, there are some, we have some interesting people here, but I'm just saying every place has its faults, and to simply just highlight one place's faults and let those win over all the great things of a country would be wrong. No one would visit here if that was what it was. But anyways, I'm done rambling. Thanks so much, guys, for all your support. We just hit 17,000 subscribers. Hopefully we can get to 20,000 by the end of this year. I don't know if that's a lofty goal or not, but hey, time will tell. Appreciate all you guys' support, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video.